This video goes out to all the theists on YouTube. Some of you may have seen my kind of tongue-in-cheek videos about Bella, the cat prophet. So you know where I stand on the issue of religion. But one thing I don't make clear in my videos is that I truly do want to know the truth. I consider that God is a very unlikely hypothesis, but if it's true, I really, really do want to know. And I was recently brought to thinking about this when I was debating a YouTube theist online, and he asked me the question, what would you consider evidence? And I thought of a number of things that I would consider evidence, if not proof. Those being things like if all the religions in the world had pretty much the same message, I would find that an interesting phenomena. And then I had the idea of, well, perhaps if overnight the face of a mountain were leveled off and a religious text was carved into it overnight. I mean, after all, in the Old Testament and even in the New Testament, God threw miracles around all the time to convince people. So I don't see why we people in this century should be any less deserving of a miracle or two. But it occurred to me that a miracle that large might be asking a lot. So I was brought to do something that I haven't done in over 20 years. I actually prayed. As sincerely as I could, being an atheist, I prayed, and I basically said, God, if you exist, I truly want to know. And I've come up with something that I believe would make me have to seriously consider that you do exist. And if you are up there, you know the person I am, and you know that it's simply impossible for me to believe something in my heart without some kind of evidence. So for the sake of my soul, if I have one, I ask you now to provide this very small piece of evidence that would, if not convince me, at least lead me far along the path towards believing in you. And I guarantee that should this sign be given to me, that I will promote it on YouTube and any other way I can think of, and get the word out to people that there is at least one very intriguing piece of evidence for the existence of God. So, if you can do this, I would thank you. And that was what I prayed. Now, what I'm going to ask you theists out there to do, and I'm asking this in all seriousness, you always say that there's proof of God. Well, this would be a scientific piece of evidence that I think any atheist would accept. I have thought of and recorded a number between 1 and 1 trillion. This should eliminate any serious chance of someone accidentally hitting on the number. And I would ask serious theists to go ahead and pray to your God. I don't care if it's the Christian God, the Muslim God, Hindu gods, whatever. Pray to have that number revealed to you, and send that number to me. If one of you can get it right, I would tend to think that that is at least a reasonable piece of evidence that your God may be true. So I have the number. It is recorded. I won't change it because, as I said, this is a serious experiment. I would truly like to see the results. I am reasonably convinced the results will be negative. But if they're not, I will certainly have to reevaluate my position, and I will start making videos and doing everything I can to promote the fact that somebody out there was able to pray and hit a number between 1 and 1 trillion on their first guess. That would be some pretty intriguing evidence. So, it's out there now. If you'd like to pray and send me the number that you get from your God, I will be waiting, and I will update the results of this from time to time. If I get the right answer, I will update the results immediately. Thanks for your cooperation. Let's see what happens. Let's hope for the best.